Okay, go ahead. Sound check.
Stop.
Sound check. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, get a 3, 4. 3, 3, 3, 4.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, you got to put your phone on silent mode.
My bad.
All right, go ahead yourself with the sound check.
1, 2, 3,
Okay,
4.
I think we're good. All right, bring us in, babe.
Welcome to
Coco Caliente.
You turned me down. Oh, no, I'm on, right?
You're on. You're good.
Okay.
Before we start, I want to roll this die. It's a standard. It's a standard dice. Okay. So I may or may not have had one beer.
Yeah.
Just one though.
Just one.
Just one.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost. No, it's actually still. Feel that.
Okay. Yeah.
It's still like
a quarter
at
full.
least a quarter full.
Mm-hmm.
So I have another one on standby.
You got a buzz already?
You know what? I don't drink that often.
I think you do.
I don't drink
You're
that
really
often.
Giddy.
So I have a die here, baby. Okay. I'm going to roll this die, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 4, and 6, I win, okay?
Okay.
2, 3, and 5, you lose, okay?
Wait, no, that's you. No matter what, you win. That's not funny. Oh my gosh!
All right, okay. If I get mine, I'm awesome. If I get it, you're awesome.
No, so Victor.
I'm joking. I'm gonna put the die away. It has nothing to do with
my gosh!
Anyway, guys, today Nicole had a unique idea for the episode. So she texted me and she's like, pick 5 topics. It doesn't matter what they are. Mm-hmm. And I was like, 5 topics? I mean, what do we need 5 topics for? She goes, well, we're going to both put 5 topics in a hat and we're going to pick them out randomly. And that's what we're going to talk about. And I was like,
just try to make an episode out of it.
So we don't know if this will actually make it, but
we're putting it out there no matter what happens.
No matter what
so
happens.
We might go through all 10 topics. Are you turning me down?
No, it's just when you were doing your sound check, you were back here.
Okay.
And then when you're talking now, you're talking right here. So I'm just trying to make sure we got the right thing.
I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, let's just go for it.
Yeah, 10 topics, right? That's what we got?
Well, yeah, but we might only, ideally, we just need 3.
Oh, you know what? I was going to ask you. Did you ever do a weird or normal about how I eat cookies?
No, but that's so weird. Me and my mom were talking about that today.
Tell them that. Because I was just thinking about it, but I think...
Okay, so we'll do weird or normal now?
Yeah, go ahead. Do weird or normal.
So, okay, is it weird or normal to crush 12 cookies into milk and eat them? It's weird.
No, it's not, and I'll tell you why.
You wouldn't. So the thing is you wouldn't sit there and eat 12 cookies. Like you'd be sick. But the way that you just slurp down 12 cookies in milk.
Okay, no. I don't. It wasn't 12. I don't do 12 cookies.
It was 7. I counted. It was 7.
Okay, I did
7 homemade peanut butter cookies.
Okay. For people
we only had 10 total. Okay.
You told me they wanted, your mom wanted me to take them home.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
I asked you if you wanted any, and I gave you 1 and I left you 2. Okay.
I know. I'm saying this, you have put 12 in before.
Well, if I have or have not, I cannot. I can't deny that may have happened at some point, but I'm not saying it's definitive that it has happened. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but what I'm saying is she's making it seem like I just do all this stuff and I break them up, right? Yeah. I break them up, I break them into 4 pieces and I put them in. Mm-hmm. And then I add the milk, right? And then so that's how I do it. You know what I mean? So
it's just basically flavored milk?
It's like cereal, but it's cookies.
But do you know how much cookies you're consuming, and it doesn't even probably feel like you're consuming that many cookies?
It tastes so good.
But you do this with your cake, too. He never eats a piece of cake. He mushes it up with ice cream.
And it tastes 10 times better.
No.
You know what? Everybody has their own preference on how they do things, and that's how I like to do it. And
yours is just, you're really lucky that you're I don't know. If I crushed up 12 cookies and milk every night.
I don't do it. Okay. I do not do it every night.
No, but you eat a whole bag of chips or 12 cookies. So, and it's a large bag of chips or a whole box of chicken and a biscuit crackers or a whole box of Wheat Thins, tomato basil. These are
very specific things that you're pointing out. And yes, I may or may not eat a whole bag of chips in one sitting, but who doesn't, right?
I'm not talking about the like $1.29 bag. I'm talking about the $4.29 bag.
All right, we don't have to get that specific. But I like chips. I like salty things. But there's other things that I don't indulge in at all, like pop. Right?
I'm not big on.
You
don't have to explain yourself to me. I just think the way that you eat cookies are weird.
Okay, though, you're coming at me sideways right now.
Because
the way you're coming at me is like, whoa, like back off, right? Because I'm feeling attacked because I don't even really eat candy, right?
No,
and I don't really eat sweets, like cookies. That's it. Like I'll put cookies and milk, and it depends on the cookie.
So like
because sometimes we have cookies and I don't even eat them.
How many chips? Okay, as long as they're not a weird cookie, you're devouring them. So how many Chips Ahoy cookies do you put in your milk? I think you've done like 12.
No, I do. They don't even. That wouldn't even fit. That's not even
crushed
realistic.
up.
No. It doesn't change the density of how much is in your cup. You can't fit. If you try to put 12 Chips Ahoy cookies in a normal mug, it wouldn't fit. Right.
So how did you fit 7 homemade peanut butter cookies?
They were thin, and they were smaller, and
they were soft, so they like just probably turned into mush.
They didn't turn into mush. They didn't turn into mush. Actually, they were so soft that they didn't really absorb any milk. Okay,
so I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Would you, if you didn't have milk, would you sit there and would you eat 7 of the cookies?
If I didn't have milk, I wouldn't eat any cookies.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying is like I understand it's very easy to like drink it because you basically make like a shake.
No, the thing is I don't drink it. Okay, this is where Nicole's making it seem like I'm like putting these things in a blender and I'm just drinking it like a slushie. No, I have a spoon and I scoop out the chunks and I eat the chunks, right?
And then you slurp up the rest.
And then I drink the remaining milk. What?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I just think that it's so weird.
It is so, okay, and this...
I mean, I could do it, but I would be like 250 pounds.
You know those Annie little cookie things, the little bunny?
Yeah.
Well, you had little Annie Graham little packet.
Yes, yes, we do.
Okay, so we didn't have anything here one night, and I was like, man, I am really craving something sweet, and Nicole's already sleeping, and I'm in bed, and I get up, and it's, I had already been laying down for like 2 hours, and I'm like, I need to eat something sweet. And so I find a lot of them, right? And they're like the travel size,
cracker.
They're like the little travel size packets. I opened 5 of them and put them in a mug and added the milk. But that was more like cereal because they're little tiny bunnies.
Was it good?
It was so good. It was so good. They're little graham cracker bunnies.
I'm glad I hit the spot.
Oh, it did. It hit the spot. And I slept like a baby. Yeah. Thank God for almond milk because I'm a little lactose intolerant.
Yes, he is. Thank goodness.
Nicole even started buying me almond ice cream, like almond milk ice cream, because the other ice cream would just tear me up and I would still eat it. That's the bad part.
On road trips, I don't know why I think it's like a good idea. It's like, let's get blizzards. Like I set myself up for the worst
Nicole, I was like,
home.
I don't know if I want to get it. She's like,
you never say you don't know.
Yes, I do say. I was like, I don't know if I should get that because I do say that, and you want it anyway.
You know what's so funny is like he'll go eat a whole blizzard and just like be like, I don't know if I want it, but like 100% of the time gets it. But when he goes through Starbucks or goes through where is it that doesn't have almond milk? Tim Hortons. He's like, you guys don't have almond milk? Oh, I cannot get a coffee now. It's like, really? Because you just downed a blizzard.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that when we get the ice cream, we're coming home. Normally when we're getting coffee, we're out doing something.
Oh, so
I'm safe. When I get here...
We're still an hour away from home when we get blizzards.
Well, but at least we're coming home. Right? when I'm getting coffee, I'm going somewhere. I'm going to be out and about. I can't have, an upset stomach.
Can't have your IBS
popping. I do not have IBS.
You can't have it popping in and out more than it already does.
I do not have IBS.
There's nothing wrong with having IBS.
There is nothing wrong with it.
I have constipation while I'm pregnant. I'm not afraid to say it.
I just don't have it. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Anyway. All right. Ooh, excuse me.
Oh, my God.
This episode is brought to you by Apostrophe. Prescription acne treatment really works, but it's hard to get. You have to take time off work to see a doctor and sit in line at the pharmacy for your medications. Until Apostrophe. Apostrophe makes it easy to see a board-certified dermatologist online. You'll get treated immediately, and your medications are delivered to your home. Simply fill out Apostrophe's online questionnaire about your skin concerns and medical history. Then just snap a few selfies and your dermatologist will get back to you with a customized treatment plan tailored just for you. The best part is Apostrophe offers topical and oral medications so you can treat your acne from the inside out and the outside in.
My skincare goals when I did it is, so I have very hormonal acne along my jawline, especially while being pregnant. And that was my main skincare goal. And so it was really easy. I was able to see a real dermatologist and I didn't need to schedule an appointment, which was really nice. And then when I got my products, it came with a cute postcard and stickers and I was able to personalize my prescription bottle. And it feels great on the skin and they know like I'm pregnant and everything's pregnancy safe. So you should definitely give it a try.
Get $15 off your first visit with a board-certified dermatologist at apostrophe.com/Coco and use our code COCO. This code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/Coco and click Begin Visit. Then use the code COCO at sign up and you'll get $15 off your dermatology visit. That's apostrophe.com/Coco, COCO, and use the code COCO to get your dermatologist visit for $15 off. And we thank Apostrophe for sponsoring this podcast. All right, so now we're going to move on. Nicole, you're going to pick
Okay, I'll pick the
topic.
first topic.
All right, here we go.
So can we just veto the topic if it's really bad?
No, one.
It says one.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, this is yours.
What does it say?
Standard of beauty.
Oh,
That's deep.
I was thinking, okay.
This is deep. This is a great topic.
So we can start off simple, right? Like, what do you consider beautiful?
And
I guess that's not simple. That's not a simple question.
That's a very complex, deep question.
Okay, for example, a lot of people see symmetrical, like when they like things that are symmetrical.
So you could say, what is like the I know what you're trying to say. I'm just trying to say it correctly. So I guess we all think different things are beautiful, but what are like the beauty standards that are considered beautiful that people think, right?
There's that, okay. But there's, like you said, there's a lot of things.
Like you said, like symmetry, I guess I don't realize whose face is symmetric.
Well, you just see it. You just kind of
then analyze it in your head. And
I think that's how that works. But also, you also find things not being in order beautiful. For example, if we have to organize a series of 5 jars, and 3 of them are one color and 3 of them are the other color, I'm more apt to keep them that way. Keep the 3 that are this color on this side and the 3. You're more apt to try to switch them around, not make it even. That's how you did with your bridesmaids.
Yeah.
You didn't want to have them standing in a certain order, so it looks like you try to make it in order. And they didn't have the same dresses either.
Right, and there's only 3 orange dresses, and I had 2 stand next to each other, so it really looked like I didn't try.
Exactly. Me, on the other hand, I would have had them wear all the same dress, all the same color, or just 3 and 3, or 4 and 4, or whatever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's your standard of beauty. But when I wrote that, when I wrote that piece of paper, I was thinking with like the times, right? Things that have been beautiful before that aren't beautiful now or that are now becoming beautiful again, like trends. You know what I mean? Like you're really into that retro vintage trend.
Yeah. I've always been into that.
You've been into that and now it's coming back again and you were doing it before everybody was doing it. You know? But it makes you think like, for example, like the tribes in like Africa and stuff where they elongate their neck. You know, they add the rings to their neck and they make it longer and for them that's beautiful.
Right.
Right? So what is it for us? You know what I mean?
I think that it's starting to become too much of the same thing. I saw that Ashley Benson put on Instagram like 2 days ago, and then E! News picked it up.
Who's Ashley Benson, by the way?
I think she's an actress. Yeah, she was in like Pretty Little... Don't quote me on this. I've never seen Pretty Little Liars.
But she's in some type of TV show.
She's in something. She's a very beautiful woman. So I guess, I mean, I think she's beautiful.
Yeah.
And she said like she did this filter on her face and said... Like, it looked nothing like her, but it said, like, me basically trying to fit in with the LA girls. Like, why do we all trying to look the same? Like, let's be unique.
Yeah, like the lip injections
that's
and the
exactly
whatever,
what
all
it
that
was.
stuff, and your face starts ending up looking like everybody else's face.
Yeah. And I think that's like where, especially, I would say even public, like, or influencers, I'd say they all have the same type of pages if they're successful. Actually, I was just told the other day that if I want to be more successful, I need to have every picture have the same filter vibe, like the same vibe. Well, I just do what I want when I want.
Well, and that's totally not you either. You know, you don't like having everything the same anyway.
Right. So then you have to make a choice. It's like, do you listen to like someone who's really knowledgeable in the field?
Yeah.
Or do you just keep doing you because that's what's gotten you this far? But okay, where was I going with that? Okay, yeah. So I think like beauty is starting to look the same more than it ever has with the Botox, lip fillers. I just kind of feel like it all starting to blend in, right?
Yeah, and I also think about stuff like, what if having crooked teeth was normal, right?
I think gaps in the teeth are super cute. Like, if I had like a natural gap, I would totally keep my gap. I remember when I was younger. You know Amanda Walsh, now Amanda Smith. She had the cutest gap in her teeth, and like I loved it. And I think she kept it all the way till she was like 16. But I was like, don't get rid of it, because I just like thought it was just so cute, and I like loved it. And now, I mean, her teeth are perfect. But even like seeing like models with their gaps in their teeth, I'm like, I love that. I love something that's different. I guess I see beauty and unique and different things. If something is too similar, it's just like
quote unquote mainstream and like what everybody's doing, like wants to do.
Yeah, I like to do. I think I've always liked to do different things.
You know, and I also think of some things as little as like whitening your teeth, right? That over time is not necessarily good for your teeth, right? Your teeth are supposed to have this like yellowish hue, and that's like a protective barrier on your tooth. But we want to get rid of that, and because that's quote unquote beautiful. Everybody on TV has like the whitest of the white teeth, and every influencer that you see when they're doing stuff, they're doing teeth whitening stuff, and their teeth are all super, super white. When it's like realistically, that's not the case.
It's a whitening app.
Yeah, well, but because that's the standard of beauty.
Whitening, oh yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, it's just little things like that. And then I always think it's so cute when you see, like, for example, my grandma. She still puts on makeup. She doesn't need to put on makeup.
She's cute.
She's still cute. You know, she's beautiful no matter what she wears.
Yes.
But she's still, that's her. For her, she's, you know, she's putting on her lipstick and her little blush, you know, and stuff. And that makes her feel beautiful. So, like, things don't change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think it is changing, because the expectations of beauty on the internet they're not realistic in real life.
Because all the filters and fake Photoshop and all that stuff.
And even like stories, you're doing a story and you have like a filter on your face as you're talking, and you think like that's what you look like, and then when you like see a picture of yourself, you're like, oh, that's such a bad picture, but really that's what you look like.
Well, yeah, and also the thing with the phone. And this is why people flip their freaking, they'll like mirror their image that they took to make it look how it is when they're looking at themselves. Because you're not used to seeing yourself. You're always seeing a reflection of yourself. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You're always seeing yourself backwards. So when you're looking at the mirror, you're looking at yourself in reverse, right? Like the other way. So when somebody takes a picture of you just up front with the front camera, that, you know, they just take a picture of you and you look at it, you're like, oh.
It looks so different.
You know, this is weird.
It
like,
does.
Why does my face look like that? You know? Yeah, it's crazy how that works. But
I think that one thing, okay, so for me, I think when I see someone that I call beautiful on the internet, in real life, whatever, they're always laughing. So like someone that's always like happy or laughing, I just think that that's like, I've always thought that. I think my Twitter bio was immediately like, happy people are beautiful.
Happy people are infectious. They
grow on you. And I think it's like how their eyes smile, even like when you like laugh with your eyes, or just like seeing the teeth and seeing the face. Like you could be the most beautiful person, like I guess by physical standards, but if you're just sitting there looking like miserable, then to me, it doesn't, it's personality. It's so weird. Personality to me is what I think is like attractive and beautiful.
And I have two things to that. No matter where you're from, right? It goes over borders and cultures and everything. You can tell when somebody's happy.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, I mean, it seems simple, but I mean, I don't have to know your language. I don't have to know where you're from. I don't even have to hear you, right? I can see you from a distance and I can be like, oh, that person's happy, you know? And as childish as this sounds, a fart noise goes across all cultures as funny. And I don't know why, but you could do that in pretty much anywhere, anytime, whatever, and people will laugh. I don't know why I just thought of that.
It's so random, but yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Secondly, what I was going to say is there's another layer to beauty, which is what you were saying is personality. So you might get to know somebody, let's say when you were nursing, somebody that a male nurse that you're working with that you might not find physically attractive right when you see him. But then you're with him every day. You get to know him, not because you made the actual effort to know him, but you're there every day talking to him, and then he grows on you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's a nice guy. Oh, you know, and then after a while, oh, he's actually kind of cute, you know, but because he's a nice guy, you know, so it's weird how those things kind of like, there's levels, you know?
Oh, definitely. I would say that you could think you have like, oh, this person's so beautiful, but then you just like hang out with them and you're like, okay, there's just like I'm not vibing, you know? So it's all really does come from personality.
Yeah. Or they smell funny, their breath stinks.
Oh,
you know? There's those other, I mean, those are real factors, deal breakers. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. It's out there. Yeah,
the standard, but that is like a very deep, I feel like we could use that's a great topic, Victor, and I think we could I could talk about this for hours on so many levels.
This episode is brought to you by Love Every. The play kits by Love Every are designed by experts for your child's developing brain. Feel confident you're giving your child the best start with a convenient plan for playtime. They deliver each play kit for your child's exact learning stage so they have the right toys at the right time.
They believe your child's toys don't need to add to the clutter and the chaos. They should fit into your family's life. They design every detail to be engaging so that your children can experience the joy of play, and you can spend less time on cleanup. The play kits deliver expert-designed and play essentials straight to your home every 2 to 3 months, starting at $36 a month.
Activate free content tailored to your child's age and get a peek inside the play kits at Love Every's website. Visit lovevery.com/Coco to get started. That's loveevery, lovevery.com/Coco to get started. Let's get to the next one. I get to pick, so you hold the hat.
Okay.
Moving on. Let's see what we got here.
I hope you don't pick one of mine because they're not like that. Oh, no.
No, this looks like it's mine. Maybe.
Looks like it's mine.
All right, let's see. Oh, here we go. Seaspiracy.
Yeah.
Seaspiracy.
Isn't that what it's called?
Yes. I think that's what it's called.
That was my last one I just threw in because I was listening to you watch it last night. And I
was thinking about it today. I almost wrote it down. I had it on my list as oceans. And I think I had it embedded in a way that I could use it in something else. So if this is, correct us if we're wrong, but I think Nicole's right. Seaspiracy is a documentary that just came out on Netflix, and it's about basically the problems that we have in our environment, specifically with our oceans and commercial fishing and pollution.
Yep.
And which lead to a bunch of other things. So. Yeah, this is a good one. I guess I could start with like.
I guess I just.
Go ahead.
No, you know more than I do. I picked it for you because it was so interesting, and I was doing like 2 other things, but I was like, "Whoa!"
She was listening in the background,
and I was like, "Whoa!" Because we're so worried about the main thing I got from it, and then I'll let Victor take over for the rest.
Go ahead.
Is that we're so obsessed with like getting rid of plastic and plastic straws, and like I am all for that, but when it comes to the numbers, it's like 0.03% of the plastic in the ocean is straws. So we're basically like trying to save the trees, he said, by stopping using toothpicks. So we need to do more, and it's actually the fishermen that are polluting and killing our our ocean animals,
ocean and therefore
the
it's animals,
ecosystem in which it's then they're like, okay, so they're killing, let's say they're killing dolphins for the freaking fun of it because they're competitors to their fishing because they're eating the fish. Well, then the dolphins and the fish can't like scare up, I don't know. Then it affects the birds, and then it affects us. And
so it was talking like,
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I got you. She's exactly on the right track. So, for example, sharks. Okay, in Japan, shark fins are used a lot for soups and other different things, but basically soups, right?
And they said the soup is it's like $100 a bowl. It doesn't taste like anything. There's no texture. It's like status.
And no nutritional value.
Right? Oh, no. Yeah. So it's like status. Like, I had a bowl of shark fin soup.
And a lot of times they throw these shark carcasses, like the rest of the body, they'll throw them right back into the ocean. And so they no other purpose served, right? So when you start killing off sharks, and mind you, they're doing this so much, they kill I think they were saying they kill 50,000 sharks a day.
Holy crap.
It's something ridiculous to the point where sharks are almost extinct. Wow. Right. And this is a common trend, right? There's a lot of whales, for example, another one, almost extinct. And so when you start killing all these sharks, you start affecting the entire ecosystem up to birds like seagulls. Because when sharks go to hunt fish, the fish have to scurry and come to the surface. When that happens, the birds come down and eat those fish. When those things don't happen, you can't have seagulls. The seagulls can't eat.
Right.
And then when you take, for example, the shark out of the ecosystem, they're the top of the food chain, right? So the shark eats the next fish, and the next fish eats the one down. And say when you take the sharks out, you have an overpopulation of the next food in the food chain, right? That next food in the food chain is so overpopulated, it eats the entire next chain, right, of fish, okay? That entire next chain of fish can no longer feed those bigger fish. Those bigger fish can't eat anymore, and they die. And it continues like that all the way down until you get to, for example, the coral reefs that use the fish. They're the ones that give it life, and then they die. So this documentary is so good because it shows you everything. And like Nicole was saying, the plastics. They say more than 50% of the waste and plastics that are found in the ocean are from commercial fishermen. They'll just dump their lines, dump their buoys, dump everything, and that's obviously even more dangerous for the animals because you're talking about entire fishing nets, right? And that's what animals get caught in. Forget the straws and everything else. The microplastics, that's horrible, but you can't curb the problem until you curb the commercial fishing problem. And they overfish. Another big thing we learned, and mind you, I'm not even done with the documentary. This is just from the first, I'd say, hour maybe, or half hour, 45 minutes. When you buy tuna at the store, the can says dolphin safe, right? And that dolphin safe is certified by some company, and they put that on there to say, they talked to the guy or one of the people that works at that company, and they said, look, we do have auditors out there that are supposed to watch, but they can be bribed. And we can't guarantee that there's no dolphins are getting caught up in there. And in fact, a bunch of animals, they call it, I can't even remember the terminology they use, but basically these animals are collateral damage, these other animals. And it's not just dolphins. I mean, it's sea turtles.
Yeah, they said they kill a lot of sea turtles.
Birds, they get birds and everything. And they were doing the numbers for a small fishing company in Ireland or something like that. And their numbers for the extra stuff that they catch that isn't the target animal that they're looking for is ridiculous. And all those animals die, right? So they said the biggest threat to our ecosystem in our oceans is commercial fishing. And I can go on and on.
And what's crazy is what was the whole thing about there's people who dedicate their lives to minimize plastic in the ocean, but they were covering up for...
Oh, okay. So when it came down to the straw, when Nicole was talking about the straws, there's a company that does the certification for that tuna, right? And that tuna company that is certified is also working for and paid by the commercial fishers, right? that commercial fishing company also owns one of the biggest companies that's anti-plastic, that's really pushing the straws, right? Not using the straws. But they don't ever say anything about commercial fishing, how that's bad, and how people should maybe consume less fish because that's what's really driving the industry. And when they were confronted about that, they're like, we don't want to talk about this, turn the cameras off, because they're people that are funding them are commercial fishers.
It's so bad. It's like they act like they're trying to help the planet, but at the same time they're...
What's actually good for the planet, they can't...
They can't even support. They can't talk about. They can't tell you to eat less fish, even though that's what everyone needs to do.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's getting to the point where even the fish aren't all healthy fish now because of everything that's in the ocean.
If you see those nets and like what... It looks very gross on... Oh my gosh, I don't know, because you can't even tell what's what, I guess.
And if you guys have a chance to, you can watch Seaspiracy, but there's also another really good documentary. Excuse me. Wow, that came out of nowhere. There's another really good documentary called The Cove. And this, I was telling Nicole about that. They have a cove, I think it's in Taiji, Japan. And this is where they have these fishing boats. And they have these long metal poles that go into the water. They tap those poles to create a disturbance for the dolphins because they hear that underwater and it scares them and it shoots them to the shore.
Oh, don't tell me this. This is so wrong.
And so once they get into that specific cove, it's about the size of a football field. They net off that cove. Right. And they enclose dolphins, like they'll raise up nets. So they got a bunch of dolphins stuck in a circle and they can't get out. Divers will hop out. And just so you know, this is not going to sound good. Right. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about it.
But no, but they should know. Right. Basically, they end up taking baby dolphins and they sell them to like SeaWorld and aquariums and other stuff. And they'll slaughter the other dolphins. Right. The adults. And so they were saying something for every one dolphin that they catch, they slaughter like 12. And that goes back to what you were saying, that they think that these other dolphins are competition to like the fishing in the area when they're the ones that are overfishing. Hence, there's less fish out there.
What is wrong with people?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And you'll see in the documentary, even going over there, like you can go as a tourist there. But as soon as you get there, the police are going to stop you, ask you what they're doing, and they're going to track you to make sure you're not trying to get footage of what's going on over there because it's so bad. The Japanese government does a really good job at covering it all up because it's obviously not in their benefit.
So we don't do that here, though?
Not that I know of. Okay. I mean, obviously... I don't. So I wouldn't say to go to like SeaWorld and stuff like that because that's what's really driving the industry.
They don't, and they stopped doing that.
Well, they still have animals in captivity, but they don't do like the.
They're not getting more animals in captivity. I would never go to SeaWorld.
I don't think they're getting any
new ones.
No, I don't think they're getting any. What is it? Killer whales. I think they're still getting other animals. I don't think they're getting any more killer whales. I think they have the ones that they have. Or I don't know if they're allowed to breed anymore. Honestly,
they're miserable. Imagine just being put in a cage
in captivity your whole life when you have the space of the entire ocean, which is the biggest thing in the world.
It said yesterday that when you're bringing an animal into like a captivity or zoo or whatever, you're taking away everything that it values in life, and it's going to be absolutely miserable. Yeah,
it's very sad. I mean, but. What I tell, and Nicole gets frustrated with me sometimes because obviously that stuff is not easy to watch, but being oblivious to it or turning a blind eye to it because it's hard to hear and hard to stomach doesn't mean it's going to stop, right? You have to watch it so you can tell somebody else to watch it and somebody else to watch it.
I agree with you there, but I understand to where for some people it can become unhealthy. Like for me... like
there's a difference between obsessing over it and there's another between actually having the knowledge about it, right? And if you have the knowledge about it, you can tell somebody else, and that's how
I understand that. Yes, and I become passionate about it very quickly. Mm-hmm. But I think like what I'm trying to say is that I just lost my train of thought. Ugh.
No, I get what you're saying though.
What I'm saying is like it'll consume me, and I will go down this rabbit hole, and I'll cry, and I'll get mad, and I'll like.
Well, things like that, though, that drives change.
It does.
You know, it does drive change, and hopefully the people listening, they'll watch it and they can tell other people about this stuff, and they can do their own research, you know.
What's so crazy is like plant-based is the healthiest way to eat, but yet it's hard. People do it, but not a lot. And even me, like during pregnancy, I haven't stayed plant-based, and this makes me want to do it 10 times more.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really, I mean...
It's frustrating, though.
There's a lot of stuff. We can't solve everything in the world, but just one thing at a time, and that'll help all our future generations if we want, you know, a thriving ecosystem, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. No, and I think that is very important, because without them, we would not
They
survive.
said 90% of all living creatures...
I think 80, but...
80%? 80%?
I think that's what I said. I'm a good number person.
Whatever it is, but it's up there. It's obviously more than 50%, so, or more than 70%. So it's either 80 to 90% of all living things live in the ocean, which is just a crazy number. And but
all right, next.
Let's get a little mood changer here. Oh, you dropped one.
Okay.
Gotta put it back in there.
This one. Insects.
Insects.
Yeah, so random. Did you write this one? No, I'm kidding.
No,
I did.
I didn't write that one.
I did. I don't know what I was. I guess.
What were you thinking at the time when you wrote it?
I think I was thinking that they're a pest, but that at the same time, like we need them. So it's weird because I wrote this like a day before the Seaspiracy thing, because I just threw that one in now. But we can skip it if you want. But I just basically like, even how some things can be such pests and you like get pest control, how like important they are for the food chain, and everything like that. So there's something. I have some fun facts. Okay.
If you're interested.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Like always, we're not researching this as we're saying it.
But we don't do like a fact check, like Dax
we don't do a
Shepard.
fact check or anything. But I believe all the ants in the world weigh more than all the humans in the world.
You told me that before.
I think that, but if you think about how tiny an ant is,
that's a lot of ants,
and how many people we have exactly, it's a lot of ants.
I don't know. I gotta Google that.
It's a ridiculous amount. Somebody Google it and like call me out on it. But I am almost positive, as of whenever they did that, whenever I read that was true. I mean, I don't know how many more people we've had since then, but that's a lot of ants. Also, and I don't know why I'm infatuated with ants. They have there's a colony of ants. There's a specific type of ant that if an ant becomes hurt. Not to the point that it's going to die, but it's just injured. They'll take that ant, they'll carry it back inside, and they'll put it in a spot, and they'll have almost like a nurse take care of it until it heals.
I've seen ants carry other ants before.
But sometimes, if an ant is sick, and this is what happens normally, if an ant is sick and they don't want to jeopardize the colony, they'll take that ant away and dump him, like somewhere so he doesn't infect the rest of the colony. You know what I mean? Ants are smart.
That's so crazy.
It's crazy. They even have these ants in the jungle where they have the fighter ants, and they're huge. Like, you can tell the difference between the fighters and the workers. It's almost like the movie ants.
Yeah.
And they'll create a route for the other ants to go through to protect them. And these other ones are huge.
Wow.
And those big ones, when they attack, they can attack the larger insect, and they'll attack by gouging that thing open, and the other ones will go inside and attack from the inside. Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's pretty freaking crazy. Yeah.
That is crazy. And then, of course, bees do scare me, but I'm all about save the bees.
There have been... Bees are interesting because people make a lot of money off of bees, and they have been stolen a lot. Like,
it's quite sad.
It's crazy, and I don't know. I don't know if they sell them or use them for something else. But for example, you need to pollinate things for them to grow. So California, uses them a lot to pollinate a lot of their things that they need to grow.
Yeah.
Like almonds or something, you know what I mean? So they'll drive all the way to California, and they'll set them up in a spot, and that's their spot that they need to pollinate. So they'll put the hive there, and then they'll come back the next day to check on them. They're gone. right?
So weird.
And then another thing that was weird is there was a disease going around where these ants were dying, and they didn't know why.
You mean bees?
Or bees, yeah. Bees were dying, they didn't know why. But this disease was affecting other populations because of that. They would go to a farm, and they need several different hives to pollinate the farm. One hive will get the other hive sick, and they all die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. I don't know much about insects or whatever, but I watch a lot of documentaries, and that's some of the stuff that I've learned.
I know that mosquitoes don't like to bite me.
Is there a reason?
I wanted to look that up. Is there like a blood type that they don't like? Because I can be sitting at the same places, like somebody, and they'll be bitten like 15 times, but they don't like to bite me. They don't. Do they like to bite you?
I get bit, not more than anybody else, but I get bit.
Some people get bit a lot more than everybody else.
Yeah.
So that's interesting because it's summertime. It's almost mosquito season.
Oh, you know what? And that is my...
But mosquito spray is so toxic and disgusting, so I'm so happy that they don't really bite me, but just wear long pants and sweaters.
It's just, that's one of my... I can't go somewhere unless I have bug spray or like long sleeves and long pants or something. But even if I do, and they're like around my face, I hate it. I don't know what it is. I think this year what we're going to do, if we're ever out and about, I'm going to buy that. Don't they have that thing that you can put down and it emits, like, so you have like at least a radius?
They have the candles. Is that what you're talking about?
It's not a candle. Oh. It's something, I think it's sold by Off or something, that you can put it in one spot, and within that radius, a certain radius, no bugs will go there.
I wonder if there's a natural oil.
Like an essential oil that you can put on you?
Yeah, I would rather use that. Because I know peppermint is for bees.
Yeah.
They don't like it. So I wonder if there's one for mosquitoes. Because it's just like smelling that spray and getting it in your... I know what it freaking tastes like, and now that I'm pregnant...
I like the bougie one. The bougie one where it's like... it's not like a... I guess it's...
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not like a wet spray. It's like almost like a fog, like when you spray it, so it doesn't feel like it's like
sticky,
wetting to your skin. It just kind of coats your skin, That's what I like. I don't even know the name of it though. I forget what it is, but that's my favorite one. But I'm not a fan of bugs. I'm not. I mean, one time, I'll tell you this story. One time I was playing soccer at my university. And it was club soccer. We had a tournament that weekend. It was a big tournament. And it wasn't, we had just teams from the school. Like, people make their own teams. My team, we played 2 games and back-to-back. We won. And we had a third game. I think it was the final, right? And mind you, I'm exhausted. I'm depleted. It's a hot day. This is our 3rd game, right? So I'm running through the defense. I'm sprinting. I'm by myself. And somebody steals the ball from me, and I fall, and my legs lock up, like cramp, to the point where they're stiff straight up in the air, and somebody has to come and like put their arm in the crease of my knee and bend my leg back for me because the muscles are so tense, right?
That happened on Amazing Race.
Oh, yeah, so bad, so bad. So that happens to me. I'm laying there, and I'm like, oh, my God, I can't even get up right now. And then next thing I know, I feel a bunch of little things going through my hair.
Oh my
gosh. And it almost in unison, I get bit all at once.
Oh.
I swear, it's like these, my head was in an ant pile. I had laid down my head in an ant pile, and almost in unison, they bit me. And I just start scratching. And
so this must have been the biting ants.
And I freaked. I mean, I was so itchy. I ran, like, when I could get up, because I just kept scratching. I ran and I dunked my head. I dunked my head in a big cooler of water that they had there for drinks and stuff. And then the next day, I had all these pus-filled bites all over my ears, on both ears, on my... Thank God I had hair.
Were they the red ants?
I don't even know. I'm getting itchy even telling this story.
Yeah, I want it to stop.
But luckily I had hair, because all underneath, when I felt it, there was bumps all over, just pus-filled bumps from all the bites that I got.
And then they just went away. You didn't do anything?
They healed. Yeah, they healed on their own, but I had them, I swear, I had like scabs on my ears and stuff. I was like, oh my God, never again do I want that to happen to me.
I have a really gross ant story now that I think about it.
Go for it.
This is when you and I were together, actually. You might know it.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to keep like snacks by the bed.
Okay.
But this is when we lived in the basement. And so I kept a bag of baked Lay's down there. And anyways, I just like for one day, and I closed the bag, but ants are very tiny and they can get in. Well, then the next day, like, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to have some more like chips. And so I'm eating the chips, and I was eating chips for a really long time. And then I looked down at my hands, and there's like baby ants crawling on my hands. Oh my God, was so disgusted. I was eating the ants. The whole bag was like full of baby ants. Isn't that disgusting?
That is so bad.
It's so bad that I couldn't eat those. Now I won't be able to eat them again, but I took like 2 years off from those chips.
Oh my gosh, that is so disgusting.
Disgusting. I didn't feel it. I didn't see it. I was like watching TV, and just like now I have a box of Whales, those like cheddar crackers by the bed.
Basically.
It could happen again.
Oh my gosh.
But you like close it up, they just like get in somehow. So it's disgusting. I know I probably shouldn't have shared that, but
I mean, I've been on a moped and gotten a bug right in the mouth. I mean, there's nothing you can do but swallow, right? Like it just to the back of the throat, not just in the mouth, just wink and just
No, I was eating ants on a chip.
That's disgusting.
Okay,
that's gourmet.
New topic. Or do we have time? We have a time for one more topic, or are we good?
We do. We have time for one more topic. Let's see. Actually, there's a topic that I want. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, this is not part of the game.
I'm not really looking at them. I'm just trying to read the one.
You're not really. Yeah, you're gonna know all of them.
No,
now.
I swear. I'm not really looking at what it's saying. I just.
Why don't you just say it then?
Because I like how I wrote it. That's why.
Oh, okay.
I like how I wrote it, and I think you'll... Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. All right. I picked this one at random.
Oh, no.
What a day in the life of Nicole, the animal, would be.
Oh, jeez.
If she were a dog or a cat, a giraffe, or an elephant. What would a day in the life be like for you if you were an animal? First, what would be your ideal animal?
Well, I don't know what elephants do, but I would probably be an elephant. So I can just do a dog to make it easy.
Okay, well, I could tell you if you were an elephant. Mm-hmm. And you want me to tell you what your day would probably consist of?
Yes, thank you. If
you were an elephant, you'd probably be doing this a lot. You would probably be now like a mama elephant. So you'd have that big belly, mm-hmm. right? And then you'd be pushing, when you had the baby, you'd be pushing the little baby with your little elephant trunk.
Hiding underneath my legs.
Yeah. I don't think you would be the leader of the elephant pack because you'd probably get lost.
Oh, jeez.
And there's probably like an older elephant, mm-hmm. There to guide the rest of elephants to water.
Yeah.
But I think you would be very helpful. I think you'd be the one to stay behind with the older elephant to make sure that they keep up with everybody else. You know what I mean? I think...
Splashing around in the mud a lot.
I think you would but I think you'd be caught. I think you'd be the last one in the water hole because you're cautious of what's in the water.
Well, I'd be the parent that would be telling the kids don't go in the water.
Yeah. Probably.
Until we know it's safe. I literally just watched the elephants.
How do you not know anything about elephants when you just watch this whole thing about
I forgot that I watched that.
Well, that's why I brought it up. I was like, you know how I know what I just said?
From watching that?
From you watching it. I wasn't even watching it. I was just in the room. I was doing my own thing, and I heard that, and I was watching that in the background.
Elephants work really, really hard to get their water.
That's all they're doing.
They travel so far. Like, I can't even remember the miles, but... It's crazy, and they go through places where there's lions and that they are It's scary. They go days and days without food.
And what's crazy with elephants is anywhere they are, they're the ones that create the paths that are used by other animals because they're so big they flatten everything.
Yep.
So in the jungle or in like in the open plains of Africa and stuff, they're the ones that create the path of where to go just because they're so big. I just think that's so crazy.
They actually listen. They feel the earth to know which way they should go as well. So they'll get to like a place and in the oldest elephant, they might be like 60, and they're going to have to use all their wisdom from when they were literally a baby elephant. And there's one leader, and you listen to the leader. Whatever the leader says, you do. And they feel the earth, and they say, okay, we're going to go this way, or we're going to go this way. And then
everybody else trusts them.
You trust them. And there's also, it was sad because the leader actually passed away on the way back, the one that I saw. And then so her like younger sister had to take over. And it's just like that. Like you have to be prepared to lead the whole tribe. And
what's crazy though is when that one did pass, they knew she was going to pass, and they all huddled around her.
Yep.
They stayed there, and then when she did pass, they were kind of like tossing a little dirt.
They like covered her eyes with her ear.
Yeah, they took her eir, they covevered her eye. They like kind of sat there,
and there was like a lion just waiting to pounce, and there's nothing they could do.
I mean,
because she was.
It's a circle of life, right? If you think it from the lion's perspective, that lion can have cubs back. That has,
and at least the elephant died of like old age.
Yes, natural causes,
not from being like.
Because a couple times the lions tried to attack them, and they were able to ward them off. Yep. Even the baby.
They tried to get the baby a couple times. So it's crazy though. I didn't realize how
attached.
And just I know they have the biggest hearts. Like they feel everything, and that's another thing which I think everyone knows. But they don't forget anything. They don't forget, and that's how they know where to go the rest of their lives. Literally, it's insane.
And what's cool is I read a fact that was like, when elephants see humans, they see us as cute. Like, oh, they're cute. You know what I mean? So, they'll play and everything. And they're like, oh, they're cute, you know? And we're over here like, oh, my God, right? Like, they're so big and cute. And they're over here like, I can stomp on you if I wanted to, but I'll just play with you.
I saw this cute video of this elephant taking this guy's hat off, this woman's hat off, and then, like, took it and then gave it back and just, like, basically chuckled and walked off. She was like trying to get a picture with the elephant, and it was in the wild, but I was like, that is so funny because you're just like playful and smart, and like they gave it back.
That's funny. Like, I have your thing and I'll give you your thing back, you know?
Yeah, like, haha. And everyone's like scared and laughing, like, oh no.
Like a nervous laugh. Yeah. Well, that's all we got for you today.
I think that went pretty well.
I enjoyed that.
I liked not knowing what we were going to talk about. And you're very educated in so many topics that I thought this would be perfect for you. You know?
We got to get you watching more documentaries and reading more articles and stop watching Good Girl. And what's the other one?
Ginny and Georgia.
Is that what you've been watching now?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I didn't know you were watching that. Is that good?
Yeah, it's good.
What's it about?
It's about a mom, and she has a daughter, and she has a son, and she's basically been running her whole life because she was like sexually abused when she was little, and now she's trying to like, she gives off this facade of being perfect and stuff, but her one daughter. Are
you going to spoil it for anybody?
No, that's it.
Well, thank you guys. We hope you enjoyed this new episode of. Oh my God.
Gosh, are you okay?
Well, I got so much burpy burps in here. I call them burpy burps. No, but we really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. The easiest way, babe, is
on the little purple app on your phone, Apple Podcasts.
Or online at Apple Podcasts as well. You can also listen to this anywhere you listen to podcasts. And where would that be?
Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify.
And you can always go to www.cococalientepodcast.com, and you can also check out our merchandise there. And please do not forget to follow us at
Coco Caliente Pod on Twitter and Coco Caliente Podcast on Instagram.
Boom. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
If you want to be the most interesting person at the cocktail party, well, hop on over and listen to the Brain Candy podcast.
Our award-winning content will have you laughing while you're learning.
We read all the best articles, books, and studies and keep up with new TV shows, documentaries, and pop culture. And then we cram it all into 2 shows a week.
Conspiracy theories, cannibal rabbits, unsolved mysteries, the history of the Walkman. There's something for everyone.
The Brain Candy podcast. Find our link in the show notes.
Or simply search for the Brain Candy podcast on your podcast app.